Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it away. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it away.
Hey guys, and welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. It is Sunday, June the 1st. I can't believe it's June the 1st already. It has not been very warm here in Ohio. I don't know if it's warm where you guys are. Hopefully it is. Hopefully it's been a great summer. But over here in the Midwest, East Coast, whatever you want to call it, we're stuck kind of in the middle. It's been a little chilly over here. So let me know how the weather is where you are. If you're new to the channel, hi, hello, welcome in. My name is Tanya or TitaniumBuilt. You can call me either or. Thanks for joining me for a live tonight. As you can see, we have some people in the chat. So what we normally do is we say hi to our friends and the people in the chat, and then we get on with the live. So that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. And we do have a new mod now. Baby girl's a mod. So now we have 3. Look at that. I love that. I love that so much. We can appreciate the help around here. So we've got the baby girls here. Olga, how are you, Olga? Hey, Mary Beth. Look at that. Hey, Ladybug. Good to see ya. Hey, Ashley Higgins. I don't know why I always say your whole name, but I feel like I'm doxing you every time. But it is your name on here, but I always say it. Hey, Willows. I told you there's people that come in my life that their whole name is just what they go by. Like that's what I call them. But I call you Ash sometimes in the chat for short. And I saw you got a puppy. Is that a new puppy? That is the scruffiest, cutest dog I've ever seen ever. It looks like it needs a home. It looks like you're going to give him one. All right. Is that your new puppy? His fur is really matted, but he's the sweetest baby. Yeah, he's a little matted, but he's all right. He looks like he needs some help. Hey, Machichi. On my way home from surfing, wearing my Ethan Smile surf hoodie. Aw. That's awesome. That's awesome. I need to get me a surf hoodie. I don't surf, but we can pretend like I do. I think the picture's cute. Hey, True Crime Lullabies. Morky, he might be. Might be. He's a cute dog. I had a dog that was so ugly, she was cute. She had this pit bull nose, right? But she had these ears and they were big. They were big ears and they stood straight up. Like straight up. They wouldn't bend over at all. I'm just like, what is up with this dog? And I didn't want the dog. Hey, DM. A girl that I worked with knew that I would take the dog if I saw the dog. So I took her home one night from work. She had this planned out. And she ran into her neighbor's house because that was the neighbor's house, the lady that she wanted to help get rid of the dog for. And I had to take the dog. So I took the dog. Hey, Micro. Hey, Captain. And thank you, True Crime Lullabies, for the super sticker. I saw the little, whatever those were, hippopotamuses. They were cute. Or rhinos. I don't know what they were, but they were cute. Hey, Petunia. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Pete. Hey, Kara. If I miss anybody, I'm sorry. Hey, Katie. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, Mary. Hey, Mandy. Joyce is in here. Well, we're getting towards the end, I think. So, hey, Mia More. I know everybody will be like, get on with it. Hey, Mary. We're pretty nice in here. Hey, Lenora. Hey, Katie. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It got to 80 today. Not so hot yet. I think it's supposed to be 77 here tomorrow. I went and laid out, though. I did. I was like, everyone was at the pool. And people, there's 3 people in the pool. And I was so surprised because our pool does not get warm until you want to jump in it usually about this time because it's usually really hot. If it's 80, 90, I'll jump in the pool for a minute, But this weather, there was a breeze going. I was like, I'm not getting in the water. Not in Michigan for sure. Low 35 tonight. See, that's how it is over here. What is going on? Our summers used to be regular, right? Like regular summers. It would get warm around this time. Then all of a sudden it was kind of I don't know. It was we had a warm front for years. I don't know if I said hello to Lenora, but hello. Hey, Kara. But we had it was always warm, it got warm sooner anyway. And so now we're going through this where it's just been cold and I don't like it. Hey, Sailor. Hey, Dion. They better make my summer longer. Whoever, not Mother Nature, whoever's in control of, around here. Hey, Sirius. Welcome in. Hey, Mr. Rosebud. I probably missed someone, but I'm sorry if I did. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I blame it on my eye. Blaming it on that. This year so far, we're getting gypped in temperature. Happens every 7 years. Yeah. Hey, Envision. It's good to see ya. So, before we go live, let me show you my bracelets that it's Vincent's mother, but she would be like my mother-in-law if we were married. But she got me these little bracelets. They're handmade, I think, because they're real. I mean, they're very delicate and they have a little silver thing on each one. Oh, I didn't even notice this has little different colors in it. Now that I'm looking in the light, I really like it. So thank you if you're listening in. She usually listens in the morning. So thank you for getting me these bracelets. I opened them right as soon as I saw them. I usually open Vincent's little goodie boxes he gets, but this one I didn't open. I let him open it and there was something in there for me. Ladybug, thank you for the super sticker. That's awfully kind of you. I appreciate that. Okay, we'll get to things now. I might have to take these bracelets off here shortly because the mouse, Vincent's bought me these beautiful Pandora bracelets through the years, 4 of them. And they all have charms on them. So when I, have my hand on the desk, it feels a little weird. So, okay. So tonight we're going to go over, I'm going to look at my notes. I want to cover Bryan's apartment search and what was removed by police and what was removed by Ann Taylor. She went in there and took some stuff out of the apartment at Bryan's request. And we never really went over that, and we're going to go over it tonight because it's just a little weird. But I pulled some articles and some pictures from law enforcement coming out of Bryan's apartment. So we'll take a look at those. And the first one we'll take a look at is this article here. So, and also at the end of the live, I have a documentary to show you. Do I have any plans for Pride Month? I don't, but happy Pride Month, everybody. I meant to say that whenever I came in. It is June the 1st. It's like the best month of the year, the kindest month of the year. You know? Everything about Brian's weird. Yeah, she did go to his apartment. Yeah. Yeah, she went there and she took some things, and she took a lot of things. So, and we're going to go over that. We're going to go over what she took tonight, because I'm like, lady, we're going to go over what everyone took. Everyone took a little bit of something, it seems like, from the apartment. So this is newly released documents. This is from May 5th of 2023. It says, detail the search of Bryan Kohberger's home and office in Washington State hours after his arrest in Pennsylvania. So if you don't know, that's where Bryan Kohberger lived. Steto Village is the apartments. You're going to see the inside of those apartments tonight. I actually found some pictures, not just a video. So even better, got pictures. Because I've been dying to like see more of the layout, and you can definitely see a lot more of the layout. So, and we'll look at that after we do this. So it says chemical tests for blood were done for over 60 reddish brown stains at Bryan's apartment in Pullman, Washington on December 30th, hours after he was arrested in northeastern Pennsylvania, according to newly released legal documents. Documents show a reddish/brown stain on an uncased pillow, as well as a brown irregular drip, found on the mattress cover. Both came back as preliminary positive for blood. Those samples from the apartment rented by Kohberger, charged in the November killings of 4 University of Idaho students, were collected for further testing at the Idaho State Crime Lab. Another dark red spot on the kitchen counter near the sink was unable to be tested at the scene but was collected for further analysis. I forgot about that one that they took. The vast majority were negative for any possibility of being blood. Like I said, they tested 60 stains. I don't know. For him being a clean freak, he had a lot of stains, like reddish brown, stains in his apartment. But a lot of those tested negative for being blood. So those samples from the apartment rented by, did I read that? I did. Sorry. So the vast majority were negative. Documents also show the Washington State University Police Department was advised at 10:38 p.m. on December 29th that Kohberger had been arrested at his parents' home, and law enforcement team from Idaho was on its way to sit at Kohberger's apartment near WSU and at his office on the WSU campus until search warrants on those locations were served by university police. And that's what they'll usually do. Like they'll go ahead and go to the scene that they know they're going to search, and they just wait for a warrant. Sometimes they'll just get the warrant right over the judge's signature over the phone and go right in. I think that's kind of what they did too. In this case. Sorry. At approximately 7:15 a.m. the next day, Kohberger's apartment was searched by law enforcement. Documents say they cleared each room of the residence and noticed the apartment was sparsely furnished and fairly empty of belongings, including no shower curtain in the bathroom, and the trash cans appeared empty. Video documentation of the apartment was also conducted. Kohberger, 28, this is at the time, is charged with first-degree murder in the stabbings of Kaylee Gonzalez, 21, Madison Mogan, 21, Xana Kernodle, 20, and Ethan Chapin, 20, at a home just outside the University of Idaho's main campus in Moscow. Authorities found a round padlock in the entryway closet of Kohberger's apartment that law enforcement recognized as being used for storage facilities. A key to the lock was located on the TV stand. And I remember when they located that stuff, because I think it was like after the initial search. Like I think we heard about it because I remember them going into this, like the storage facility. I think that's where they got the warrant served over the phone, maybe, to go ahead and like search that. So Kohberger had a storage closet at the apartment complex assigned to him. They found the door to the closet was ajar and appeared to be empty. I think he cleaned it out. I don't think that maybe there was anything in there that was like, incriminating, but I think he cleaned out his whole apartment because he knew he wasn't going to be able to go back there. Law enforcement waited for a search warrant to be amended to include the storage unit before they searched it for possible trace evidence and possible DNA evidence. Authorities then went to Kohberger's office on the WSU campus, where he had just completed his first semester as a PhD student at the school's criminal justice program. While executing the search warrant, they found Kohberger's desk was empty. Nothing was seized from the office, reads the police report detailing the search. Not even a notebook, nothing. You ain't got nothing there. It's weird, huh? Hey, PJs. Hey, Sandy. Hey, Betsy. Welcome in, everybody that I didn't see. Coming in. Okay. You didn't think he was coming back either? Yeah. I don't know why they didn't take it. Like, some of the stuff, like, they probably should have. I mean, I was actually gonna tell you right here. So, okay. I was wondering, I have it in my notes to read to you too, so you're gonna hear it twice, but I knew that I had read it in one of these articles, and I was trying to go back through them and find it, and I thought I couldn't find it. I thought I deleted it. Sorry, guys. My throat is really dry today. So it says here that on January 10th, 2023, Kohberger's defense team showed WSU law enforcement a piece of paper signed by Kohberger granting his attorneys permission to enter his apartment to remove the WSU office keys that had been sitting on the TV stand. Okay. So they're supposed to go in there and just get the WSU keys because he ain't got a job no more, right? Defense attorneys also found and took a receipt from a cupboard in the bathroom, as well as paperwork items from the living room. On January 19th, Kohberger's defense team again asked to go to his apartment with a signed letter by Kohberger asking them to gather some of his belongings. He can't have them in jail. So why are they, what do you mean belongings? What are you taking him? You can't take him anything. Nothing. Nada. Zero. Zilch. You can take him a prescription if it's for like depression meds that are like non-narcotic. Then you might be able to take them into the jail for him. But other than that, he's not getting anything. So why it's illegal to do too. I looked it up. We're gonna look at the Google, because Google looked it up. Google is my attorney tonight. So that's who my attorney is. So if we have an attorney in the chat, please let me know. Because that's a good question. I want to know, like, if they're even allowed to go in there and do this. Is this legal? Like, I just don't see this being legal. And this is what they took, right? And this is what they took. Okay. The defense removed a flat screen TV. So that's why they were only left with the Fire Stick, right? I was wondering why they were only left with the damn Fire Stick. I was wondering where the TV was. Well, we know now. A computer monitor, a small box of miscellaneous papers and receipts. Miscellaneous to who? Miscellaneous to who? They could be very important to the prosecution. A laundry basket that was full of books, and a medium-sized box with whose contents police couldn't see. Now, why were they allowed to take them out of the freaking home if the police wasn't even able to go through it and see what they were taking? Is that on the police? Like, is that just lack of, knowledge? And I mean, that sounds like I even know not to do that. I even know not to let the defense walk out the door with potential evidence of a crime. We're dealing with a crime, and not just like a crime, like, a burglary. Not just a burglary. We're talking about a burglary and 4 murders. So that's crazy to me. It's just crazy. So let's take a look inside one of the units at Steto Apartments, or Steto Village, where Bryan lived. We can take a look at what is included when you move in, so you can kind of see what they've got, and the amenities. So Steto Village, built in the early 70s, that's what it looks like it. Didn't I say that? Looks like from the 70s, is the largest apartment complex and family housing. So normally it's people that have families that live here. The complex contains 200 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. Only 2 bedroom units are available in either flats or townhouses. There is easy access to the 3 coin operated laundry rooms located throughout this complex. Each apartment has wall to wall carpeting, except in the bathroom and kitchen, and a private deck/terrace. Extra storage space is provided with individual storage lockers located next to the laundry rooms. The university provides TV, internet, water, sewage, garbage, steam, heat, and water, hot water. The resident is responsible for electricity and phone service. Well, who uses the phone anymore? Like, a landline. Residents have access to the city bus routes through bus stops, located near Steto Village. Graduate students can only select 1 to 2 bedroom flats in this complex. Okay, then. Amenities. That's the amenities. I can't make this any bigger. I wish I could. Let me see if I can if I do this. Nope. It's about the same size. So this is going to be the apartments. I'm going to go through them. Like, there's like a little arrow here. You guys probably can't see it. Let me see if I can make it like move me for a minute down here. So, because I can't make this any bigger for some reason. Maybe if I like zoomed in on it. My computer's all the way back here. Nope, it's not letting me. It's probably my fingers. They're like, I swear they don't like to work on that thing. Okay. We're just going to do it. We're going to do it like this way, old school kind of. So this is the front of the building, of course. Let me know if y'all want to live here. Let me know if I could. I'll take your deposit. It's. I don't even know how much a month we should look. I don't even know. I would like to know though. I'm about to email them. Or like, yeah, I'm about to email them and be like, can you give me a price? So this is the 1 bedroom. This is going to be the 1 bedroom. He had a 2 bedroom. The other bedroom had a lock on it. So this is the 2 bedroom. So it's the same thing, just has 2 bedrooms. But I mean, this is like, I can understand if Bryan was a little if allegedly, I could see why Bryan would be jealous of where the girls live and Ethan and where Ethan was living, in that fraternity house. Big, nice fraternity house. Like, this place looks a little depressing to me. Actually, it looks a lot of depressing. Like, they didn't even take someone done put a poster on this door or something sticky, and they didn't even take the sticky stuff off of it for the pictures. These are pictures you're putting on your online site. Look at this door. What is all over it? You shouldn't have shined the light at the door. But this is a 2 bedroom right here. So this would have been this would have been what Bryan's living room looked like. And the 2 bedrooms are right here, right beside each other. I mean, a little depressing to me. I don't know why he needed a 2 bedroom. It's just weird that he had a 2 bedroom. I think maybe that's what they had open at the time. Or maybe he had to take a 2 bedroom because he was like the year that he was in. I don't know. But they do have a picture of the bathroom, a good picture of the bathroom. And the toilet is not where you think it would be. So right here, the toilet is in like this little cubby. So Bryan took the selfie over here, allegedly. Well, no, I mean, we know we did. And there's a his and her sink. Someone put that toilet paper on the roll the wrong way. That looks like it's going under. I'm an over person. Laugh whenever we can. And this is the kitchen. Oh man, those stoves with those little grates. I hate those things. Because then the silver things would always get dirty and you have to clean them like once a week. But I mean, I don't think they've updated this since the 70s. Do you guys are these 70s cabinets? Looks like it to me. They updated the appliances maybe in the late 90s. Right, levitating elephant. That's what those people are just really weird. Oh, it says rent's $925 right now. So okay. He could have afforded to live there then if he really wanted to. I mean, it would have been hard, but he would have had to work, a job. She thought it was gas. Oh, I had a gas stove. I shouldn't be allowed around gas appliances. No, mm-mm. I lived in I can't lie. Okay. I can't even say nothing. I lived in an apartment where the stove, have y'all seen those 70s stoves or 60s? Maybe they're from the 60s, but they're like no bigger than this. I'm not kidding you. They're small, but they have like four like, things on it, but they're small. I lived in an apartment with one of those. It was 500 square feet apartment. This is probably more than my apartment was. This is a lot more, actually. I could tell by looking at it. Whenever me and Vincent first started dating, that was my apartment. It was so small. Teeny. Okay, yeah, so I think that's all of it. Yeah. So that's all of it. But that's it. That's the apartment. Like, this is the 2-bedroom. This is the, you got your kitchen. You got your bathroom with his and his, because he didn't have anybody living with him, sinks. That's the living room. That carpet even looks like it's from like a while ago. Oh, I hate carpet. I hate carpet so much. Okay. That's it. Okay, well, let's go to the next. What was I going to look at next? I'm like, what was I going to look at? Oh, I was going to show you the video. If you guys haven't got to see the video, this is the video of the Steto Village. Man, one of these days they're going to get me for playing their video. I played it like times. I like the music. Hey, is she? Hey, Nicole. Oh, I guess you could have seen the sinks there. A little bit. See, they turned the lighting down for this video. They put some knobs on the door. Here's the carpet. That one was blue. That had blue carpet in it. The blue. I know the music. I love it, Nicole. Makes me happy, Hey, Miranda, welcome in. Hey, CJK, welcome in. Hey, everybody, welcome on in. Everybody that I didn't see, and welcome in. But yeah, so that's some of the stuff that, was taken out of Bryan's apartment so far, and I'll read you it off if you're just now joining us again. We're going to read it off. But the next thing I wanted to show you guys was what they took out of his apartment, what police seized. So this is the actual document, but I'm going to read off of the website that we use because it's just easier to read for me for some reason. But this is the presumptive blood test. These are all of the testing that they did. So that's a lot of different things that they took, collected, and tested. There was a dark red spot, flaked off surface upon touch, west of sink, kitchen counter. They collected it. They were unable to test it on the scene. For some reason, they couldn't test it. And then they did have a positive test come back for a reddish brown stain on uncased pillow, 2 separate stains. Why is there not a pillowcase on there is beyond me. Because that means he would have had to blood through the pillowcase onto the pillow if there was a pillowcase on there and he took it off. and like threw it away or something, you know? Also, the mattress cover on the bed, the edge facing doorway, irregular blood, or I'm sorry, not blood, sorry, irregular brown stain, positive collected. Could have had a nosebleed. That could, you know, I mean, that could be anything. That could be anything. So we'll give them that. Sweetly morbid bear, you're right. They do. Most of the people that I know, though, like, see, I went, like, we used to go up to Ohio State, and that's where a lot of my friends went, and they lived in, like, old houses, and they were, like, big and, like, really pretty, even though, like, they had college students living in them. I can't even imagine that they, like, stayed. I don't know how they stayed so nice, but they did. They were, like, really old homes, though. So I'm gonna show you the, collected items that they collected, and we'll go from there. Thank you, True Crime Lullabies, for the super sticker. That's very sweet of you. I'm looking at the little, like, emoji thing. It's funny. It makes me wanna, like, scoot back my chair. Yeah, so yeah, he basically since he was the TA, he got, you know, special accommodations where they were paying for his housing and stuff like that. So he knew, you know, when he went into that meeting before he left for his trip, he knew that he was going to be, like, let go. You know, he knew that he wasn't going to have a job when he got back. So that could be why his apartment didn't have a lot of stuff in it also. But he did leave, like, the computer tower and stuff like that there, which that could have a lot of incriminating evidence on it. I mean, it could have his Amazon searches. We don't know where he was searching from, if it was his phone or from a computer. But what they did find was one nitrate type black glove, and it was found in the closet on the north wall of entryway. One Walmart receipt with one Dickies tag found in closet on north wall of entryway. Two Marshall's receipts found in closet on north wall of entryway, all on the west side. So dust container from Bissell Power Force vacuum. Let me look that up. Force. Was it Helix or? I think there's a lot. Oh, it's like a pretty big. It's pulling up this one a lot. Let me see if I can get a picture of this thing. Like, it's gonna have, like, that's a pretty big, like, container. I hope it's full. I hope it's full. And hey, Ishi, I don't know if you heard me earlier. I was trying to say hi to you guys. Hey, Samantha. You think he spent time clearing stuff off? Me too. I mean, he had time. He had 6 weeks to do what he wanted to do, needed to do. Could have just took it. He probably could have taken everything to different garbages, you know, like different, like, trash cans. Hold on one second, guys. My dog, my poor dog. I can hear her right at the door. Hold on one second, guys. Hey, don't you mess with that doggy. My dog goes over to this ceramic dog I have every time, and she, like, hits it with her nose, like she bullies it. I'm like, don't bully that dog. It's supposed to look like a balloon animal. Lay down. Okay. So they found that was the Bissell Power Force vacuum. And it was just the dust container, which is the best part. Where's the rest of it though? You know what I mean? Where's the rest of the vacuum? That's weird. One Fire TV stick with cord and plug found plugged into back of Samsung TV, west wall living room TV stand. Yeah, it was only doing that. It was only on that TV stand or TV for a minute before the defense came in and took the TV. Like, okay, so the only thing I can think of is Bryan was like, I want to get the rest of my stuff out of my apartment. I'm just going to have her go get it. That's the only thing I can think of is for a reasoning why she would go and get a TV. I think she just maybe didn't know why she was going and getting it. I think he was cunning. I think he's a little sneaky. Probably told her, maybe there's stuff on my TV. I don't know. I don't know what he told her, but it's just weird that she would go and get a TV. They found one possible animal strand found in northeast bedroom under computer pad on desk. And like, it would be, I wish you could see mine. I have like a big computer pad. He has one on his desk too, but they're like, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's like big mouse pad. So one possible hair found on east wall of shower on tile bathroom. Now, I don't know if this looked like Bryan Kohberger's hair, for us didn't, and that's why they're taking it. But if he only had like 4 strands of hair like in his whole apartment, dang, he can clean, right? Because one possible hair found inside of drain, shower, bathroom. One possible hair found on computer pad on desk. One possible hair strand found in northeast bedroom. One computer tower found in northeast bedroom. Dark red spot flaked off surface, and that's the one that they're testing. 2 cuttings from uncased pillow tested positive. And then 2 top and bottom of mattress cover packaged separately, both labeled C, multiple stains, 1 tested. So there was multiple stains on the mattress pad, I guess. And then all the presumptive blood tests, we already went through those. So, now, did Bryan Kohberger clear out his apartment before the search? Let's see. Let's see what this article says. And then we'll play a video of them going in to the actual apartment. They said they found 1 possible hair in the drain. So maybe. I'm assuming they did, Oh, does Ashley have a pet? Look at her new dog. I put her name up there so you can see the dog. Look at that dog, is she? That dog needed a friend. Look at his tongue hanging out. That dog's cute. So it says Bryan Kohberger may have cleared out his apartment at Washington State University 2 weeks before police officers secured a search warrant. I mean, I would say maybe, yeah, because there's no like furniture in there, right? Like there's no I'm gonna take this off, but there's no like, I'll keep the pink one on for Maddie. But there was no like couch in there, no chair, no like end tables. It doesn't sound like, no bed. I don't know if there was a bed. There was a cover for a mattress. Maybe it was on a bed. Maybe it was on the floor. I don't know. But it doesn't seem like they, really cleared a lot out either. Well, they kind of did. They took some evidence, and I'll show you. But I think that they only ended up taking, it says right here, 12 things as evidence. And we went over them. So that's not a lot. For committing a crime like this, I don't think that if someone didn't have a criminology degree, they wouldn't have gotten this far. You know what I mean? I think that that criminology degree really helped him. So Assistant Chief Dawn Daniels of the WSU Pullman Police Department described the largely empty apartment in a report filed after she and other officers were sent to collect evidence just hours after police arrested the man suspected of killing 4 University of Idaho students at his family's home in Pennsylvania on December 30th. We also noticed while clearing the apartment, it was sparsely furnished and fairly empty of belongings, including no shower curtain in the bathroom, and the trash cans appeared empty. So, yeah, I mean, he was going to his dad's and his mom's. He was going home. Now, that's taking your trash out before you leave. Like, that's the right thing to do. That's the good thing to do, right? So I can understand why his trash cans would be empty, right? I mean, but kind of sucks that they were. It says, in the end, Daniels and her team collected just 12 items as evidence. According to court filings released back in January, 6 of the 12 items were possible strands of hair. One thing not mentioned in that January report is the lock that Daniels and her team found in the apartment. Daniels told a judge in a phone call on December 30th that a padlock round in shape in the living room closet had been found at Kohberger's apartment. Based on my training and experience, I recognize the padlock to be the shape of locks typically used on storage units, Daniels said in that call. The lock is round in shape and the design limits the ability for it to be cut off. Daniels said that because these locks are typically used on storage units, she reached out to the apartment coordinator, which is when she learned that students are given a storage unit in the building. The phone call between Daniels and the judge was in lieu of submitting a formal request for a search warrant. Yeah, so I was right. They did talk on the phone and she got her search warrant signed that way. Because I think I remember everybody making a big deal about that. It happens all the time. Or people will go to a judge's home. Like, don't do it, but they will. Like, if it's, especially a murder case and they need that search warrant signed, they don't want to wait until the next day or Monday morning if it's Friday night. They're like, nope, we need it now, please. So, and it was just for them to go ahead and add on to their search. They were already at the apartment searching the apartment. They just wanted to search the storage unit. And I just remember a lot of people like screaming over that. Inside Edition obtained the body cam footage taken during the call to the judge as well as the transcript. We're going to watch it, but it's on News Nation. Daniel's search of the storage locker ultimately turned up nothing because it was completely empty. There were cobwebs going into the storage closet and the floor was dusty, wrote Daniels. It did not appear the closet had been used recently and nothing was seized or collected from the closet. Well, there you go. Looked like it had cobwebs in there and the floor was all dusty and gross. But I'm wondering why the door was ajar. Like maybe he went out there just to double check to make sure there wasn't anything in there. The lack of evidence found in the apartment may have something to do with the fact that Kohberger left for winter break knowing that he might not be able to return to the program. Inside Edition Digital obtained a copy of the termination letter sent to Kohberger by the director of the graduate program just a few days after he arrived home in Pennsylvania. The letter reveals that Kohberger had multiple altercations with the professor he served as a teacher's assistant to at the school. On September 23rd, 2022, you had an altercation with the faculty you support as a TA, Professor John Snyder. I met with you on October 3rd to discuss norms of professional behavior. On October 21st, Professor Snyder emailed you about the ways in which you have failed to meet your expectations as a TA thus far in the semester. It continues, as a result, on November 2nd, graduate director Dale Willits and I met with you to discuss an improvement plan, which you agreed to, and I shared with you in an email dated November 3rd. So it started in September. In October, they talked to him, and then in November, they email him. Wow. Like with the agreed upon, like I'm going to start doing better. Kohberger met with faculty, including the professor with whom he allegedly had conflicts, and the graduate director on December 7th to discuss his progress in regards to the improvement plan previously discussed. While not perfect, we agreed that there was progress, the letter reads. Then just 2 days later, another incident. On December 9th, there was another altercation with Professor Snyder in which it became apparent that you had not made progress regarding professionalism and about which I wrote to you on December 11th requesting a meeting, the letter reads. We met on December 19th when I informed you of your termination as a TA for spring semester. Kohberger did not get kicked out of the program at that time, but the loss of his job meant that he would be facing new financial burdens. Teaching assistants, sorry, man, I have like the dry throat tonight. Teaching assistants in the criminology program at WSU receive a specified stipend each month. Stipend. I'm assuming that's a stipend each month, and health insurance benefits. Was that like a amount of money you get each month? That's bad that I don't know that. Let's see. I don't know why it's coming up red, but it is. Oh, it doesn't have that. Health insurance benefits. Wow. and an in-state tuition waiver. Wow. So you would pay in-state cost. You'd have health insurance, and they would give you money each month for, like, you know, your living expenses and stuff like that. Wow. That's a lot. Wow. Out-of-state tuition is waived the first year until the student establishes residency, the university notes on its website. I just don't understand how he worked. Like, he worked so hard and he impressed that, you know, professor so much that she only sent 2 people, you know, to like a PhD program or gave him good remarks or whatever. And he was one of them. For him to come out and just do this, right? Like, just, man, it's just crazy. So it says here, this means Kohberger would have to pay for the fall semester in full as well as the spring semester, which would cost an estimated $46,278. So if since he lost his TA position, he had to go and pay the back pay? Mm. Man, that will cause you to, you know. I'm not saying there's a reason, but I'm just saying, like, you know. Shows how far a recommendation can get you. Yep, sure does, doesn't it? Someone recommend me for something. I don't know. I don't know what I need to be recommended for, but I'll find something. Okay, so this is just like the police when they go in, they get the I think this is whenever they're getting the other warrant. But this is from 12/30/2022. It says, I don't see a time. Maybe 8:08. I don't know. Could be. Because it was winter, you know. Sun goes down faster. Okay.
Yeah.
Here, let me see if I could put the closed captioning one.
Police department search warrant. Come to the door.
Can you imagine if he was in there? I mean, he wasn't in there because he was already arrested, but he already heard that sound once. Actually, they didn't give him that sound the first time. They just blew in the door.
Police department search warrant. Come to the door. Good. One more.
One more.
Police department search warrant. Come to the door. Open the door and do an announcement. Police department, show yourself. We have a search warrant for the building. Police department, show yourself. You're good, dude. Go back inside. Yep. No lights. No lights. Flashlights? Flashlights.
All right, so here's what's fascinating. They go in with all of their body cams, and when they sent us the video after a Freedom of Information request, guess what? I know you already know what I'm about to say.
They blurred it.
They actually redacted it. They turned most of that searching inside the apartment, all of it, in fact, into black video with no audio at all. So we cannot see inside the apartment. But remember this video? This was exclusive for News Nation. We were standing outside the apartment as they were hauling all the goods out. All of the evidence that they removed from Bryan Kohberger's apartment.
The goods, all 12 pieces of it.
This was what it looked like right after they had executed that warrant. There is one thing, though, that they did not redact that I want to play for you right now, and it is so telling. It is a detail that, once again, sent shivers down my spine. They talk about when they were in the apartment, one of the doors inside the apartment is locked. Can you guess which one? Let's roll the tape so you can hear it for yourself.
Talbot, the bedroom door is locked. You want us to boot it? Yeah. You need anything? Your clipboard?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
He's got it.
So Kohberger was living in a 2-bedroom apartment. And so one of the bedrooms was locked off. That's what it was just like, it ended up just being like locked off, which I think's weird, right? Like if you're renting a 2-bedroom apartment, you should have access to every bedroom in the apartment, right? Like I've never rented an apartment where they were like, oh, we're blocking off the second one. But maybe it's because it's college living. I don't know. Maybe they charged them for 1 bedroom because they blocked off the second bedroom. It is just really weird. It's weird.
Thank you guys.
Just a one lock door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we didn't boot it because the keys actually worked. What?
Oh, sweet. Oh, even better.
It's locked because there's only one
Later
occupant.
today, we're gonna.
I'll
Right
talk
there.
later. Yeah.
It's locked because there's only one occupant. She said it right there. Like
It's actually worked. What?
Oh, sweet. Oh, even better.
It's locked because there's only one
Later
occupant.
today, we're gonna.
right there, she says it's locked because there's only one occupant.
I'll talk later. Yeah.
I'm just gonna do a quick walkthrough, see what we can see. Are there lights on in there?
There are some. Yeah. And we can turn them all on. Very sparse. Fancy computer. Yes.
Did she say fancy computer?
And we can turn them all on. Very sparse. Fancy computer.
She did, I think. I'm pretty sure she said fancy computer. Oh, I hope it's fancy. I hope it's one of those nice little gaming ones. And we can see what's on it.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
I'm sorry.
That's Mallory's gonna be all over that.
Fancy.
So he was told he could do a triage here. And then once he's packaged, he can't do anything, so he'll get a warrant.
Correct.
So he can triage all that we're still here.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. Talking about the bedroom door. Bryan Kohberger's bedroom door was locked. Bryan Kohberger wasn't there. Why would his bedroom door be locked? It just kind of defies logic, doesn't it? I'm going to talk to Bryan Enton about that in a moment, but I wanted to tell you some court documents also dropped today. 166 pages. Apparently the testing for blood on the pillowcases and the mattress, presumptive test for blood. That's what the chemical tests said. Chemical testing for blood, not just reddish brown stains or on the uncased pillow and mattress cover, presumptive testing for blood. Also, they released new floor plans of Bryan Kohberger's apartment number 201. And the big news, they also released a trespass order. Washington State University effectively said on the 30th, the day of the arrests, the day of this warrant, Bryan Kohberger, you may never step foot on this campus again. It is officially going to be trespass. I want to get right to Bryan Enton, who's been covering this story since the beginning. First of all, I want to get your thoughts on all of this, but also the fact that we're hearing Bryan Kohberger's voice, Bryan, for such an extended period of time in what seems to be like a polite debate.
Yeah, it's like, where do we even begin with all of this? There's so much to talk about, Ashley. 166 pages, documents released just within the last couple of hours in that video that you obtained. The voice I found probably to be the most interesting in all of it. I'd only heard him say a couple of, words in court in the past. Hadn't heard him really complete full sentences before.
Yeah, that was the first time we had ever heard him say a word, really,
I've heard a lot of people say that they think that he sounds condescending. Is he condescending? Is he monotone? Is he just we've heard he's socially awkward in the past, but it was very interesting the way he went back and forth with the officer. She really kept her cool. And like you said, even went back and looked up the law and gave him all the information he was asking for. But I couldn't figure out, and maybe you have some insight into this, Ashley, was he being condescending or is this just his awkward personality and he actually wanted to know the details of the law? It was very, very strange.
Well, I can tell you this. I spoke with Steve Gonzalez tonight, and I asked him what he made of this interaction with the police officer. And Steve Gonzalez's exact words were he was respectful, but also quite awkward. Just exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
I also want to tell you what he said about the warrant and the locked bedroom door. These are Steve Gonzalez's words, Bryan. He said, quote, "My thought is, why would you need to lock a door to your own room in an apartment that isn't shared, unless you're worried the landlord might enter when you're not home and get into your room?" Again, those are the words of Kaylee Gonzalez's father, Steve Gonzalez. Of course, Kaylee, one of the victims alleged to have been murdered. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com.
She gets me every time. No, so Maddie's favorite color is pink. So that's why my nails are done pink right now. This one broke like the day that I got it done. Actually, 2 broke the day that I got them done. I was like, it was not meant for me to be getting them done. So I'm going to wear this pink bracelet for the rest of them. Well, for the next few days because I just got it, but I'm going to wear it for Maddie because it's pink, but I got a purple one too. So I can wear this one for the rest of the month for July. I'll put it on right now. This one even looks pink, like a pinkish color. But yeah, so I was going to ask you guys because I couldn't remember. I thought it was purple because I thought I got my nails done purple. It was the first year, I believe, 2 years ago I did it. I did them for each person because in June it's so May is Maddie, June is Kaylee, July is Xana, and then October is Ethan. So they're all kind of really close. Their birthdays and stuff are. So I was going to go through some of these pictures with you guys. These are just them, you know, going into the apartment, them coming out of the apartment with stuff. The 12 items, I'm not sure. There's the computer tower. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't look that fancy, but it could be. It could be fancy. Could be fancy. This gentleman here with the evidence. Fox News, they got some really good pictures in this whole thing. Like, they probably got the best. Like, of the house and everything. They were everywhere. These people down here have their front door open. They're like, they're snooping. Oh, that might be, well, no, the lady right underneath of them, but it might be over here. You never know. There was the lady that lived underneath of him that was, that had the kids. She said that he was always vacuuming and stuff in the middle of the night. Maybe she was snooping. And then that's the last one. But most of this is their stuff, you know, that they took in to test all that stuff. Oh, yeah, I feel better. Oh, do you, princess? Oh. Hey, 3 sides. I knew what you meant. Vacuuming at night, I know. I would never vacuum at night. I sometimes I vacuum in the hallway. Like, you know, it's like I have a little, like, we have like, okay, so it's weird. You step out of our apartment, it's like a building, you know? And like sometimes the cleaner ladies, they clean so well. They do a great job. They really do. But sometimes, and I don't, maybe it's not their job, but like to move the carpet, you know, like, cause I have like a carpet that you like wipe your feet on. So I'll just go out there and like vacuum right there. But I always feel bad if it's like, it'll be in the afternoon and I do it. And I'm like, am I bothering anybody? Don't bother me. Don't worry about me, you know? Wow, princess. Isn't that weird? But who vacuums that late, right? I mean, you know, especially having an apartment, like you would think like, okay, I live in an apartment. People sleep. I live in an apartment with families. That's the thing. He lives in an apartment where he knows there's families. Maybe you just don't give a fudge, you know? That makes sense. True crime lullabies though, especially if you have kids. I just probably would, but then you probably wouldn't vacuum though, because you don't want your kids to wake up. And true AF is baby girl. It really is. I wonder if we're allowed. I always wonder that because we have hardwood floors throughout our whole apartment. And like, I always wonder if like, my mom used to tell me I sound like a stampede coming through. So I always feel bad for people. I'm like, do I sound like, because I walk on the balls of my feet, like my heels. I do. I'm loud. We don't ever like it. No one's never said anything. So. Okay. Let me see. I already hit the, okay. So now I don't know how well AI Google is, but that's where I went for my legal question. So I put into Google, if you're a defense attorney, can you go into a suspect's house and remove items? Pretty straightforward. And it says no. A criminal defense attorney generally cannot go into a suspect's house and remove items, especially if it's an active crime scene. It wasn't, but it kind of was. It wasn't a crime scene, but it was an active scene. Or police investigation is ongoing. Well, police investigation was still ongoing. Reasons for this restriction is evidence tampering, removing or altering evidence, even with the intention of helping a client's defense, can be considered a criminal offense. Chain of custody. The integrity of evidence relies on the verifiable chain of custody, and defense attorneys typically do not participate in evidence collection at a crime scene to avoid jeopardizing the prosecution's case. Witness role. An attorney who collects evidence may become a witness, which can complicate their ability to represent their client effectively. Put her on the stand. Police authority. Law enforcement officers have the authority to secure and process crime scenes, including collecting evidence. Defense attorneys and evidence. Visiting the scene. It says defense attorneys may visit the location of the alleged crime to understand the setting, but they generally won't collect evidence themselves. So it's just very weird, you know? It says they can hire a private investigator to collect evidence that may be helpful to the defense. But this was stuff that Bryan was telling them to go in and collect. Do you notice that? Like, and you notice all the paperwork, it says Bryan. Like it says, like it makes it words it like Bryan's the one doing the talking. That to me was always kind of weird. He has a lawyer. That's who's supposed to be doing the talking, right? I don't know. You have plants, Samantha? Oh, as soon as you just said like plants, reading, and cleaning, I just like felt like your place is probably like chill. Like I don't know why. I just feel like it's very like you have like a good aesthetic. I don't know why, but I do like that. Everybody that has plants has a good aesthetic. I can't keep a plant alive to save my soul. My cat got mad at him. I'm going to tell you this, yesterday, and ripped one of the leaves off of Vincent's plant. Like he was meaning business. I was like, you better get your butt up and get that cat whatever he wants, because he is mad. He is mad right now. Okay, so this is the new documentary that came out. It's only 23 minutes long, but it's from Como News. It came out yesterday. I saw that it came out last night, like right before our live, but then I didn't want to switch up the whole live, so we're watching it tonight. But thanks for being here. I appreciate it. If you guys don't mind, take a second, hit the like button. I haven't asked you guys to do that all night. I've been good. I would really love for you guys to become members of the channel. If you'd like to do that, I'll put the link in the chat for you guys. Also, if you want to ever come on panel, I usually will always put like an open panel link up at the top of the chat. I'll pin it because sometimes people have something they need to say and I'm on another page or something, you know, gets my attention. But yeah, this was a good documentary. Or good show or whatever you want to call it. I was watching it earlier. Sorry. And this is going to go over just the upcoming trial and stuff like that. So this is like going to be more of the newer stuff.
On location of your emergency?
Something is happening. Something happened in our house. We don't know what.
What is the address of the emergency?
1122.
What is the rest of the address?
Oh, Kings Road.
The energy is everywhere. They don't know how to react.
Tell me exactly what's going on.
One of the roommates has passed out, and she was drunk last night, and she's not waking up.
They're still in this level of denial of what's actually transpired in their home.
Okay.
Oh, and they saw some man in their house last night. Yeah.
At first, the police came out and said there was nothing suspicious about it.
Can I just tell you what happened pretty much?
What is going on currently? Is someone passed out right now?
The dispatcher doesn't want to hear about what they think happened. They want to find out if we can actually save this life.
I don't really know, but pretty much at 4 a.m.
Okay, I need to know what's going on right now if someone is passed out. Can you find that out?
Yeah, I'll come. Come on, we gotta go check. But we have to.
There was somebody in the house at 4 a.m.
She's passed out. She's passed out. What's wrong? She's not waking up.
Okay, one moment. I'm getting help started that way.
Okay, thank you.
You don't see this sort of thing happening on a regular basis.
Okay, and how old is she?
She's 20.
It literally sent a chill through anybody that has kids.
I've already sent the ambulance and law enforcement. Stay on the line.
There's a police here right now.
Okay.
I can see it.
Are you talking to the officer?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to let you go since he's there with you and can help you.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Okay.
Happening right now in northern Idaho, an investigation underway into the deaths of 4 university students. The Moscow Police Department responded to a call for an unconscious person, and that's when they found the 4 victims dead.
There was news of 4 students who had died in a house.
MPD does not believe there is an active threat to the community.
After a couple of days, people had moved on, and it wasn't until much later that people started looking at this a different way.
Moscow, Idaho police offering new details from their investigation.
The 4 were stabbed with a knife, but no weapon has been located at this time.
They were each stabbed multiple times. They believed with a fixed blade knife.
The victims were perhaps asleep at the time in their own beds. Some had defensive wounds, and there were no signs of sexual assault.
It's not a single murder, it's a multiple murder, all taken place in one location.
We cannot say that there's no threat to the community. Please stay vigilant and be aware of your surroundings at all times.
I think people were initially a little freaked out.
It's a horrific crime to begin with, and it's a needless loss of life. People were cut off in their prime. Most crimes, particularly crimes of violence like homicide, are against people who know each other. It wasn't a situation where the house was broken into, where the perpetrator was trying to steal something. So it makes the case even more brazen, even more horrific.
For parents, this is
He was stealing
the worst
lives.
case scenario.
He was stealing lives. That's what he was stealing.
When you send children,
He was stealing memories that they could have had. We won't even get into it. Yeah, allegedly, whoever did this stole them.
off to school, the last thing you're thinking is that there's going to be a mass murder.
A candlelight vigil mourning the 4 University of Idaho students killed last month. Hundreds came to the event. They remembered the college students killed at an off-campus apartment with no known motive.
O God, we cry out in lament and grief for the lives cut short. We ask for comfort and consolation for the families and friends of Ethan, Kaylee, Xana, and Madison.
Madison Mogan, beautiful blonde girl who was at school with her best friend, Kaylee Gonsalves. Kaylee and Madison grew up together. They had been best friends since 6th grade. These were just 2 peas in the same pot. They loved social media. They were vivacious young people. They were ready to start their lives.
Ethan and Xana had been boyfriend and girlfriend. Ethan had just come to the University of Idaho as a freshman.
Ethan Chapin was such a special young man. He was one of triplets. He worked at a tulip farm. He sounded like the kid that you wanted to bring home to meet your parents. Xana Kernodle was bubbly and fun and the life of the party. She always had a smile on her face. And all of the pictures that we see of her are smiling and kind. So you now have a picture of these 4 really beautiful kids that were beautiful inside and out, who were just getting started. To hear that 4 kids are stabbed to death in the middle of the night in a small town at a college town where they're supposed to just be having fun and being safe and learning was absolutely terrifying.
Normally, the biggest issue in this town is how you pronounce it, Moscow.
I'm Chris Daniels, longtime reporter here in the Pacific Northwest, have traveled all around the country. Hello again from the University of Idaho, where this particular day was in Moscow, Idaho. I've got a long history with Moscow, Idaho. Went to school myself at Washington State University, and it's just a short, straight drive from Moscow to the campus of Washington State University, 8 miles apart, those two campuses. And this is small town America.
Very pleasant place to be, very bright and sunny. Even if the weather didn't reflect that, the people did.
It's big enough that you've got things to do, different communities, but it's small enough that it still feels very, very strong.
They're right on the border of Washington and Idaho. It's a college town with an enrollment of just over 7,000 people at the University of Idaho. The town is a little bit less than 30,000 people, and there's not a lot of murders in a town like Moscow.
We are a small town, and there's just that collective grief.
There's just a heavy cloud, I think a depression.
I'm Ann Emerson. I am the senior investigative reporter for Criminally Obsessed. I've been going to crime scenes and talking to victims and trying to understand what happened. There hadn't been any problems in Moscow in a long time. In fact, the last murder, I think, was back in 2015. So there's only so many police officers that they're going to need, especially when you're looking at the crime rate in an area like this that's very rural. You're not having a lot of crime at all. So it was bare bones.
Moscow's police chief led the recovery of personal items from what is an active crime scene.
We have 25 plus investigators working this case, as well as assistance from the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Idaho State Police. Investigators are continuing to collect evidence at the scene. Investigators are working to develop a timeline to relevant events.
Kaylee and Madison, they were seen walking around in Moscow at a food truck.
It's this Twitch live stream video from grub truckers in Moscow.
Hello. Hi. Welcome back.
Showing homicide victims Kaylee Gonsalves and Madison Mogen getting something to eat around 1:40 Sunday morning on November 13th.
Police also have additional video. Investigators know the girls had been at this bar across town prior to that.
Earlier that day, they took this picture with their roommate, Xana Kernodle, and Kernodle's boyfriend, Ethan Chapin.
Ethan and Xana had been with each other that night as well.
They had just gone over to Sigma Chi to have a fraternity party, which is not far away. It was Saturday night. What are 4 kids that are at a really fun college town going to be doing? They're going to go out and they're going to go see their friends.
All 4 returned to their off-campus apartment sometime after 1:45 a.m.
There was other people home at that time.
Those other people were the young lady's 2 other roommates.
This was a house that was known to host get-togethers.
This is one of the houses that everybody goes to when they want to go to a party. And they were comfortable with people being in the house even when they weren't there.
It was not thought to be a quiet house at the end of a block, but it was an area that over time, especially a lot of college students had gone through that house and had been there for one reason or another.
So you've basically got everybody moving back to this house sometime around 2 o'clock. It appears that most of them have gone to sleep, but Xana's awake and she has ordered DoorDash at 4 o'clock in the morning. Xana and Ethan are in one floor, and then you have Maddie and Kaylee one floor above on the 3rd floor. Maddie and Kaylee were in one bed. Ethan and Xana are in the other area, and they are stabbed and killed. The first realization that something bad has happened in this house is when a 911 call comes from one of these surviving roommates.
Tell me exactly what's going on.
One of the roommates is passed out.
Okay.
Oh, and they saw some man in their house last night. Can I just tell you what happened pretty much?
What is going on currently? Is someone passed out right now?
I don't really know, but pretty much at 4 a.m.
Okay, I need to know what's going on right now if someone is passed out. Can you find that out?
What we get from that, obviously, is that there was somebody in the house at 4 a.m. She saw somebody. There was somebody that scared her enough that she ran back into her room and locked the door and texted the other roommate.
No, it's like a ski mask almost. Shut the F up. Actually, he has something over his head and mouth. I'm not kidding. I am so freaked out. So am I. My phone is going to die. Come to my room. Run. Down here.
One of the surviving roommates may have seen the killer on his way out towards the back sliding glass door. Around 4 a.m., surviving roommate Dylan Mortensen reportedly heard someone who she thought was Kaylee Gonzalez saying, "There's someone here," and a male voice saying, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." Mortensen opened her door a third time after she heard someone crying in Zaina Kernodle's room, seeing a masked man dressed in all black walking past her as she stood in a frozen shock phase, then locked herself in her bedroom. Investigators say there is physical evidence.
One of the things that was found at the crime scene was this leather sheath for a fixed blade knife. And it was found reportedly on Maddie's bed. This is the only thing that they can find that has been left behind by the killer. So they go and do a DNA on the sheath, and they do find a piece of DNA. They find it on the snap of the sheath. And it's enough for them to be able to run it through CODIS, which is their system to see if there's any matches at all. And it comes up blank. There's nothing. But they've got DNA. So now they need to find a person of interest, a suspect, and then they can start doing some serious detective work and see if they can find a match.
Well, the first big break in this case, if you want to call it that, was the fact that police came out and said, "We think we have a car that may be connected." Detectives continue to focus on a 2011 to 2013 white Hyundai Elantra that they believe had somebody in it who holds the key to cracking this murder case. They were trying to zero in on this car because it had been seen on surveillance video, as it turns out, outside the house at very odd hours.
The white Hyundai Elantra appears on camera, driving past the King Road residence multiple times in the 3 o'clock hour, then speeding off around 4:20 a.m. toward Pullman. It's spotted again on 5 cameras in Pullman and the WSU campus starting at 5:25 a.m.
Moscow police were gathering all this material, trying to put together their case.
We have several hundred pieces of video evidence that we're piecing together.
Those pieces of video are helping the FBI and state police retrace steps. Traffic cameras, cell phone technology, and comments on students' social media posts have all aided the investigation.
Just a few things I have noticed myself.
Cyber detectives have eaten up any morsel of information, fueling national interest.
Just being a weird, armchair detective.
I feel like it might be like someone who is jealous of them.
The people that are probably the suspects or involved are all flying home.
There was a lot of speculation and a lot of amateur sleuthing on
He wasn't flying, he was driving.
TikTok and Reddit.
Thank you.
The Moscow Police Department really stopped doing repeated press conferences to update people on where the investigation was leading them. So that turned people to go to these social media sites to try and solve it themselves.
Amateur sleuths have a role to play. They can keep the case alive. They can put pressure, informal pressure, on law enforcement and also the courts. They can play a critical role. They can also be a distraction.
We do not believe the following individuals are involved in this crime. The 2 surviving roommates.
Moscow police had to come out at a certain point and tell everybody that these people weren't suspects and cross them off the list because there was so much speculation.
Moscow Police Captain Roger Lanier also says this male in the grub truck surveillance video is not believed to be involved either.
A private party who provided rides home to Kaylee and Madison in the early morning hour of November 13th.
And they say that person is also not believed to be of interest.
Thank you.
This was one of those cases that captivated a lot of people's attention, and they were trying to solve it themselves because they felt like Moscow police were not advancing fast enough.
A major breakthrough in this case. An arrest has now been made.
and that person is now awaiting extradition from Pennsylvania. It's the biggest break in the more than 6-week-long mystery, which has prompted speculation across the country. Investigators have identified him as 28-year-old Bryan Christopher Kohberger. Pennsylvania State Police arrested him at a home in Albrightsville on a fugitive from justice warrant.
Idaho police formally announced the arrest of Bryan Kohberger late this afternoon in Pennsylvania, hundreds of miles away from the crime.
How are the Poconos tied to Pullman and Moscow?
Kohberger is a PhD criminal justice student and has been attending nearby Washington State University, just 8 miles away from the Idaho campus.
Kohberger was like everybody else going home for the holidays. It's Christmas time. So he had his father meet him in Pullman, Washington. He gets into the car with his dad and he drives across the country back home to Pennsylvania, where he's from. And on that drive, while he's in Indiana, we don't know if it was a coincidence, we don't know why, but twice he gets pulled over in Indiana.
Take a look at your driver's license real quick if I could. See, he's right up on that van, man. He was right up on the back end of that van.
He's following a car too closely. There was nothing strange about the traffic stop, but we have the body camera so we can see what it actually looked like.
Well, do me a favor, don't follow it too close, okay? All right, thank you. Appreciate you.
And then, just a few miles down the road,
He
the
gets
cops
pulled
stop
over
him
again?
for following too close.
I mean, was he really following too close? I mean, that truck seems to be pretty far ahead of him. I don't know.
That would seem to suggest that Moscow police, working with federal investigators, had been tracking him across multiple states. There's been further reporting that perhaps they were trying to look at his hands to see if there were any scars. That was a attempt for police to figure out where he was and where he was going and if he still had any fresh injuries.
Just going for Thai food.
Accused murderer Bryan Kohberger is now in jail in Idaho. The plane carrying the murder suspect landed at the Pullman-Moscow Regional Airport. Idaho law enforcement took Kohberger to the county jail. The 28-year-old waived extradition in a Pennsylvania court. DNA evidence reportedly links him to the stabbing deaths of 4 University of Idaho students. This is really
They
serious
didn't see him put the bucket on his
evidence.
head.
Police believe the murders happened over a 25-minute period the morning of November 13th. Investigators say they connected Kohberger to the killings using DNA evidence, cell phone records, his car, and also surveillance video.
All rise.
Based on phone records, detectives say Kohberger tried to conceal his location during the murders, even visited the area where the murders happened at least 12 times. Court records state DNA matching Kohberger's profile was found on the button snap of a knife sheath near the bed next to one of the victims after the murders.
The defense claimed investigators acted inappropriately when using investigative genetic genealogy to try to isolate a suspect. Here are some of those newly revealed details. Only one person's DNA was detected on a knife sheath. A detective learned Kohberger's name only after the genetic genealogy, more than a month after the killings. An expert testified the FBI admitted they had used a database off limits to law enforcement. Prosecutors did not directly respond to that claim during the hearing, and ultimately the judge did not suppress the genetic genealogy evidence.
The defense has a long road ahead of them in this case.
There are still a lot of unanswered questions in the Bryan Kohberger case. If he goes to trial, if he is convicted, if he's sentenced to death.
These murder counts could get him, with this special circumstance, the death penalty. And in Idaho, that's the firing squad. So that's what he's looking at. One of the things that they're going to have to do is make him more sympathetic to a jury. That gets a lot more difficult when his behavior may seem odd or off-putting or just off. The other thing that they're looking at is who else had access to this house. Everybody had access to this house. The defense naturally can start looking at who else could have been there. Were there 2 suspects? That's certainly something the defense is going to be playing with. There's another thing that the defense has brought up. They think some evidence for another person of interest could be buried within all of these leads. within all these tips? Have they unearthed something that we just haven't seen yet? That is going to be a major question.
The horrific nature of the crime, the fact that all the people were killed in the same place, all 4 of them are students, and then the extra component that the suspect is a PhD student studying criminology, criminal justice. Those are, 4 major components that call attention to this crime, and it cries out, movie made for TV.
Prosecutors want to use a college paper as evidence. It was written by Bryan, the accused killer. The 30-year-old wrote the 12-page report in 2020 for a criminal justice course. The paper details how crime scenes should be properly investigated and evidence preserved.
With all of this attention for a small town, the case was made that the trial should be moved down to Boise, Idaho, which is the state capital, a bigger jury pool. And so he is now scheduled to stand trial in August.
I think the entire country's attention is going to turn to Idaho during this trial. This is a 3-month trial. And I believe that we are going to see an enormous amount of interest in this case because it is the ultimate story of horror. Small town America attacked by this horrible event. It has shattered the innocence for that community. And I don't think that America will rest until this is done.
Okay. I was gonna put it just on me, but I'm all the way down here. I'm like, I'm being hidden. There we go. I was being hidden by the can I kick its comment. I think he has to rule by the 18th. If that's when they go to court next. Let me double check. Okay, so let's go all the way to the bottom. So the 18th, they have the hearing scheduled. It's not sealed. And it's a motion to continue. And motion for the alternate perpetrators. That's the alternate perpetrators is sealed. So apparently they're going to have 2 hearings that day. So the motion to continue, we'll see that part. But for the alternate perpetrators, that's going to be sealed. Dang it. That's what we want to know. We want to know the motion to continue too. I'll break computer monitors around here if they continue this. I'm just saying. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. I'd like to go punch a pillow first, but I don't want them to do that. So, and also, some of the stuff that was out on the Dateline episode, Dateline's already talked about it. I've been going through, and I think the more I listen, the more I go back. They've said a lot of the stuff. I had some stuff pulled up. I'll have to go through it to see which was which, but like the Kohbergers broke into former female colleague's home. Well, apparently we already knew that it was a colleague that he had worked with. And this is from 2 years ago, I found. So she was getting comfortable, the dog. So, yeah, apparently everyone knew that but me. I don't remember the female colleague. So. You always lock the door before you go to bed. I always lock the door when I come in my house. I keep my doors locked. Ain't nobody coming and getting me. Ain't nobody taking me. They wouldn't take me anyway because my 2 dogs, they would bark. As soon as like anybody comes near our place, they're at the door barking. And they would bite. I think if someone came in and it wasn't, they would, or I would. I would trust her. Yep. If it wasn't Vincent or I, yeah, she probably would. Because when the maintenance guy would come in, she would snap at him. He was just so good with dogs that he would be like, leave me alone, Araya. And then she would, like, she playfully would do it. You know what I mean? Like, because she knew it was him. She likes to, I say she's going to get me. That's what I call it, like, get me. Because she'll just try to, like, nibble at you. She's getting older. She's just in her ways. She looks so cute right now. She's curled up in a little ball on the floor. So I think that that's all I have for you guys. Oh, actually, I have a couple things before you guys all leave me. First and foremost, I reached out today to Stephen Crabtree, who helped me get a hold of Body Moving. I wanted to see if she wanted to come on the show because we've been listening to the Idaho Massacre podcast, and she's on the podcast. And she was also in Don't Fuck with Cats. So I thought she'd be really good to have on the show to talk to about the Idaho 4 case. She said she just signed up for like a new project, but she's off Friday and Saturdays. So perfect. So I asked if she wanted to do Saturday. She doesn't have to do this Saturday. She can do any Saturday she wants. But yeah, I'm just waiting to hear back. So hopefully we'll have a guest on our channel. And then also hopefully we'll have another guest on our channel. I'm going to reach out to the Gonzalez's and see if they would like to come on for Kaylee Jade Day to, promote the day. They can come on anytime between now and whenever they want to come on. But the day is on June 8th. So Kaylee Jade, Maddie Mogan Day is to do something like nice for somebody else. Kaylee Jade Day is to do something that you love. So, do something that you love with somebody that you love. That would be bonus points. So yeah, I'm trying to, get more people out on the show because I know it'd be fun having people on here, Yeah. And if I could think of anybody else, I'll let you know. If anyone else wants to ever come up, just let me know. I don't mind. I don't mind at all. I like talking to you guys. So, but I'm going to jump off here. I have to go to the doctor tomorrow for my legs. So everyone say a little prayer for my legs. They're doing okay. They're just hurting a little bit. Like when I walk for, more than a few minutes, they're starting to like ache a little bit. And I don't know if that's something that like I can do some like different stretches or something. Give me like some pointers because, just need to figure out how to get the pain to go away. But I haven't seen them in a few years. So it's been a long, long time. So thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate it so much. If you guys don't mind, take a second, hit the like button on your way out. Also, look at this is like the cutest little like outfit ever. They're like little shorts and they say American Summer, which I don't know what the difference between American Summer and every other summer is, but it was cute and I thought I'd get it. Some young guy said that my outfit today was really cool. I was like, thank you. I was like, that's pretty awesome. I felt really good about that. So I wanted to show it to you guys. But thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I'll be back on tomorrow at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If I get home early enough, I'll do a live. But we are going to be doing a live members only this week so that we can figure out the Discord. So make sure that you're in there. That way you guys can help me figure out the Discord. But I'll see you guys later. Have a wonderful evening. Bye, guys.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how.